My name's Marc Murrell, and my relationship with the hunt started way back when Mike first started the hunt in 1989. I also started my career with the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks about that same time, and so KDWP was involved in that initially. I'd go over to the hunt, sell licenses. Back then we sold them on paper and carbon copies, and so that kind of dates the hunt and me. So that was my initial exposure to it. I'd go over and help with the hunt, attend the banquets, that sort of thing. And then kind of took a hiatus, I think, towards the middle. I think after Marv McCowan left, kind of got away from it for whatever reason, and have just got back involved with it since Mike and Steve Seymour and those folks wanted to keep it going. And Mike had reached out to me to be a board member and also to engage Kansas Wildscape Foundation, who I worked for after a 32-year career with KDWP, and Wildscape was a great fit, particularly for the youth portion. I'd also worked with the hunt a little bit with the Outdoor Writers of Kansas, which is a group of journalists and radio folks with Marv back in the day with the Past Shooters and Guides Association. Marv would give us a hunting or fishing license for us to give away as a way to raise money for that organization. So we'd worked with him even when I didn't attend the event anymore. When it first got started, I walked in and was amazed at the amount of people, the excitement level, the interest in the hunt. Back then, things like that weren't, real common in Kansas. I think they had hunts in other places that were, big, maybe up in the Dakotas with an antelope hunt or something back east. But when Mike started the event in Kansas, I think it was unique, one of a kind, and was really impressed with the excitement level of the event, the number of people that were there. Back then, I think the memorable moments were just getting to see some of the people, the celebrities or the governor showing up, things like that. We had several governors that were real supportive of the event, and of course Mike showing up every year for so many years. But these last 3 years, some of the best memories I have when I'm sitting at the scoring table, so I'm the first person they see when they walk through the 4-H building. Some of the people that have come through, for example, 2 years ago, Lieutenant Governor David Tolan killed his first turkey. And just seeing the excitement on some of these folks' eyes, it's really cool for a kid to get their first bird or turkey or have that experience. It might be even more special for somebody, later in life, an adult or whatever, that hadn't ever been exposed to it for whatever reason, and they finally see the joy and the commitment that you have to get up early and go into the turkey woods and basically beat them at their game. And each time somebody does that comes through that is, a first-time turkey hunter and they're successful, I think is pretty special. You hear some stories back in the day of crazy things that went on. I don't know whether they were true or not, and some of them probably shouldn't be repeated, but when I think about the number of people that have come through this hunt since Mike started it, 36 years ago, there's hundreds and thousands of guides and landowners and volunteers and people from other organizations that have helped. I think as a collective, it would be cool to figure out how much knowledge was within that group. Turkey hunting knowledge. We've had some of the best turkey hunters in the country. I think the commitment in general from all those folks and dedication to an event like this for years and years, I think is probably my most memorable thing about the hunt as far as it's gone on. I don't know that I've ever had anybody walk through or visit with somebody at the banquet or whatever that even if they didn't shoot a turkey, they had a great time. I mean, the hospitality of Kansas people is second to none. And you hear people from back east and other parts of the country say, and I hear it time and time again, is I can't believe how friendly everybody is. You just can't believe how many people wave at you. It's not common in other areas of the United States. And that's just the hospitality, I think, that we have here in Kansas. When we look at outdoor recreational resources, whether it's a state park and camping and fishing and hunting and things, all of that brings a great deal of revenue to this community. I camp and fish within Kansas, and so when we go somewhere like El Dorado State Park for a weekend, we spend hundreds of dollars on gas and food, and the one-shot turkey hunt is the same. It brings all these people in from other parts of the state as well as other parts of the country. They spend money here. They see what El Dorado is like, and there's been business people over the years that have seen what Kansas hospitality looks like and has brought their own business to the state of Kansas. So from that aspect, it's a huge benefit to not only El Dorado, but to the state of Kansas as well. There's not hundreds of thousands of people showing up anymore. It's a little bit smaller. With turkey populations changing, they've gone to a non-resident draw. So That's a challenge to get some of our friends from out of state permits. They have to apply ahead of time. That's a challenge. Our turkey population numbers have changed dramatically, not only here in Kansas, but range wide, clear down to Alabama. You know, guides that started 35 years ago when they were 35 or 40 are, you know, now kind of aging out. So there's some challenges and things, but over the last 3 years, I think we've done a great job in trying to keep some of that momentum going and recruit new folks at the same time. And all the people that we have over the last 3 years of the Kansas One-Shot Turkey Hunt have been just totally committed, 110% in, and not wanting to take any shortcuts and making it a great event for everybody. You know, when we talk about the success of the one-shot turkey hunt, the governor's one-shot back when it started, there's a lot of groups and individuals, you know, whether it's local retailers, motel folks, other conservation organizations, Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks, National Wild Turkey Federation, and the last few years with the Kansas Wildscape Foundation. You know, they make a hunt like this work. It takes basically a village to pull this thing off. Wildscape's happy to sponsor the youth portion of the hunt, and last year we had 120 or so kids from all over Kansas that applied to be a participant in this hunt. And we pick 5 kids from all over Kansas to participate. We get at least 1 or 2 from El Dorado, Butler County area, of course, and then we try to spread it out and get 1 from each of the geographical regions of Kansas. We go border to border trying to get those kids and just spread it out a little bit. And so those are 5 kids of the 6 that we have. And then the 6th one comes from the National Wild Turkey Federation essay contest. The youth that's picked as the winner of that gets to come to Kansas to participate. And so we have 6 total kids, and they go off with all kinds of memories. Obviously, I think 4 of the 6 kids killed birds this year, so they had big smiles on their faces, but they also go away with a goodie bag full of stuff. I mean, Wildscape sponsors a lifetime hunting license for each child. They get a shotgun that's provided by Gus Bader and TriStar, and local businesses sponsor some of those guns for each of the kids. That's gone over really well. They get boots, they get True Timber camo, knives, just all kinds of things. So they walk away with plenty of memories and then other things that will last them a lifetime as well.